welcome to our executive team AMA. Thank you so much for joining us and listening today. We're really excited to share the latest. Before we start, if we go around and introduce ourselves.
Hi everyone, this is Harry, CEO of Forj.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaz. I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Forj.
Hi everyone, I'm Terrence. I'm the CTO over here at Forj.
And I'm Christina, the Chief of Staff at Forj. You may notice that we have a new face joining us, Andy, or otherwise known as Barossa. Might just take a couple of minutes to hand over to you, Andy. Introduce yourself. Just let everyone know who you are.
Absolutely. Hey, folks. So if you've been hanging out in our Discord servers or Telegram groups for the last few months, you may have seen me kicking around. I'm a recent addition to the CM team, but more than that, I joined to help lead the CM team. So thanks to everyone who's been helping me get acquainted with the projects over the last little bit. I'm really looking forward to finally hopping on this call and talking through some of the community stuff we're working on.
Amazing, thank you. And I think I speak on behalf of everyone when we also welcome you to our first AMA. We've absolutely loved having you on the team so far, loving your perspective and your energy, and really, really excited for what's to come.
Oh, thanks.
Let's get started. Harry, right in at the deep end for you. When is the next Launchpad sale?
Yeah, the next Launchpad sales is going to be like we say weeks or 2 months from now, because the market condition has meant that we need to be cautious with Launchpad sales to ensure our partners have the best chance of success. And it's clear that the current market condition that for the new project token is limited in the midst of the bear market. So with that being said, we have a strong and healthy business pipeline for Animoca ecosystem related projects. For the announcement, everyone can just follow our Twitter to know more. But for now, Social Hub Pass for Pass Network is going to be on July 5th, which is going to host on the Forge website. And every week going forward, we're going to move through various partners brands with Metaprince.
Amazing, thank you. You've also segued really nicely into our next question. So for Chaz, how are Forge approaching the current bear market?
Yeah, so this is a question that comes up fairly often, and rightly so. And the first thing I'd say is that Rob, our COO, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, is off unwell. He's been speaking, as you can imagine, with a number of other projects, and obviously speaking and liaising very closely with Animoca, who of course are majority owners of Forge. And the consensus in the industry, and it is one that we share, is that the bear market is a time for building. It's not the time to be going after high volume sales. As Harry just mentioned, it's not the time to be kind of launching new projects necessarily. It's really not an ideal situation for those projects looking to raise funding, and it's not necessarily a great time in terms of demand for these products anyway. So our focus is very much on building, on kind of taking stock of our strategy and making sure that we're well prepped for the next kind of I wouldn't even say that the bull market necessarily, but certainly for better market conditions, more stable market conditions. One of the key things to note is that we're not going anywhere. We're very well managed as a business, and our focus is very much on our strategy. And we also our business model, of course, is focused on onboarding wider audiences than just crypto audiences. So one of the things that's great about our project is we work with big brands, with creators, partners like Spring and Bands in Town, obviously major artists like Lewis Capaldi, and we also have a few other kind of big announcements that will be coming, obviously when the time is right. And the key thing is that we have such a wealth of opportunity across so many different areas that really the bear market is in many ways a chance to kind of take a breath, pause, and as I mentioned, focus on our technology, on our infrastructure, on our strategy, on our partnerships, and when things are just slightly more stable, in the market, will be going hard. So you'll certainly be pleasantly surprised in the the coming weeks and months, or whenever the market is more stable.
Great, thank you. What additional utilities do you have for Bondi token holders, Harry?
Oh, you're mute, Harry.
Yeah, so the current utilities include participation of Launchpad sales. Aside from that, like we have a Wireless Club. It's like a membership for staking only to get access to that. And recently we have a OCM Monkey, on-chain Monkey, and it was a pretty popular project. Then the upcoming ones, as I mentioned, July 5th, then we have Social Hub Pass sales that's going to be in Bondi too, right, with 50 pass for project for Pass Network. And then once the market has improved, then we'll be able to do more Launchpad sales. And for now, we expect new projects to come out from Animoca's portfolios, such as DMY's Live Beyond and Torque Drift 2 that is coming. So yeah, we're constantly chatting with subsidiaries and see when their next launch is going to be. And then user will be able to use only to participate. And then finally, we have Alpha Group's access that related to NFTs and Animoca ecosystem updates, which will be soon shared to the communities access to this Alpha info.
Great, thank you. Terence, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What is the current situation with the Cardano Bridge?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I can say I'm happy to report that we've been able to get the two-way bridge to be working 1.5 ways right now. We were able to manage to bridge the token back to Ethereum and log it from the contract. And right now, currently, we're just waiting on the Cardano hard fork, which, as you all may know, has been delayed yet again until July, so we can complete the bridge entirely.
Great, thank you. 1.5 ways sounds very exciting. So thank you for that. This question, either Chaz or Andy, I feel like you guys would be great to pick this one up. What's happening with the BCG collection?
Yeah, so this is something that's come up obviously a few times, and rightly so. So I know in previous AMAs we've talked about that we have a plan in place for the BCGs, and of course that's still the case. One of the things to mention is that when we launched the new brand, so the Forj brand, BCCG was very much front and center. So we had a plan in place. Market conditions meant that some elements of this plan have had to be delayed slightly. But what I can tell you, as I said, is that the BCCG collection are, whilst they're fantastic characters, based on an anime project that was being worked on way back when, in terms of our new brand and where we're going as a business, they don't necessarily align with the kind of the Forj kind of look and feel and necessarily the ethos of our business. So we are looking to migrate from BCCG, and we have actually built a custom platform to enable that. So we'll be announcing more when that happens. One of the key things to consider is around our Launchpad. So if we think about our growth strategy, we want to onboard, as we talk often about, more and more users into the ecosystem. And to do that, we have to simplify the experience. So at the moment, if you want to take part in our Launchpad, you need to own a certain amount of X Bondi, which you get by staking Bondi, but you then also have to own a certain number of BCCG cards, and obviously very specific ones, the first editions, and not the promotional or special edition NFTs as well. And that can be a bit confusing for new users. So one of the first things we're looking to do is to allow users to trade existing BCCG cards for what will be new branded Launchpad passes, and we've had those made up by the great Doug Ferguson, who of course is our creative director in house, and he's done a fantastic job on it. Look really, really good. So that will be one of the first ways in which we'll be looking to transition some of the utility from the BCCG cards to new assets which, don't worry, current holders will have the ability to do, and again, more to be announced soon. And there's also an existing, more exciting, I say more exciting, that's obviously very exciting, but I have to be honest, slightly more exciting application for the BCG cards, which is all to do with our new community strategy, which of course is something I'll hand over to Andy to talk about.
Thanks. Yeah, so one of the things that we're looking at with the Forj community strategy is how do we treat our holders as a special group? And if you check out our Discord servers, you'll see if you're a holder, there's that VIP group. What we want to do is formalize that a little bit more. So if you're an existing BCG holder, treating you as a VIP and giving you perks related to that sort of group membership of being within that VIP group. As we think about the successor to the BCG collection, one of the things that we're looking at is, well, what should that be within Forj? So one of the first things that we're going to do as a group is come up with that together. So the successor collection from a community standpoint will be driven by community governance. So if you're a VIP group member, you will have direct input on guiding how that collection forms, all the way from the concept through design. We're going to get some stuff started as a team to just get the ball rolling, but this is all about getting the VIPs more involved in what we do and the collection that we're putting out. So happy to share more details on that in the coming weeks. Just keep your eyes on the community servers.
Amazing, thank you. And Chaz, what is Forj doing to attract new customers?
Yeah, and again, this is all part of the kind of new strategy under Forj. So, I mean, the fact that we have become Forj is in effect part of the answer to that question. But more specifically, there's a little bit of complexity around this in the sense that, as I mentioned before, we have to be cautious in the bear market. We don't want to misuse marketing budgets to try and pull people into an ecosystem, which at the moment, ultimately, there's not as much going on as there will be in the coming weeks and months as the market stabilizes. So that's a good time to be building up community and building up activity. And obviously, new customers means new sales, etc. Now, that said, as Harry mentioned, we have got our upcoming Social Hub Pass sales, which is really exciting. And we'll be showing our brand new video for that and a couple of examples of what the experiences will look like. So we are very much focusing on those sales, and we have loads of new customers coming in from the projects associated with those sales. So we've got incredible partners like Polygon, Crust, Bounce, Mantra DAO, Kylin, huge projects that have really engaged communities that we're obviously looking to bring in via the Social Hub Pass, and the social hubs themselves will of course be a way of aggregating audiences. But then on top of that, we still have our partnership with Bands in Town. I mean, those of you who follow our channels will see that on essentially every month we have a brand new emerging music artist, and we have new audiences coming in from Bands in Town and from fans of those artists, looking at proof of attendance NFTs and how they operate. And of course, our partnership with Spring and everything we do there, we have these incredible ways to reach these kind of much broader, not necessarily crypto audiences. And then on top of that, of course, we also have our usual kind of partnerships with major creators, and again, we have many of those coming up. And of course, we also have Cardano, which is ramping up, and we have more to announce about our partnership with Cardano as well in the coming weeks. And those of you who've been paying close attention will know that we have an NFT project we've been discussing with Cardano for a while now, and that's still something that's very much going on in the background. So more to be announced about that as and when we can. So in short, lots and lots of great opportunities to attract new customers. We're making the most of those opportunities, but we're not doing Times Square advertising right now because, simply put, it's a waste of marketing budget at this point. It's very much about optimizing and making sure that we're making the biggest splash at the right time. And just to reassure everybody, we absolutely will be. We haven't yet done a big brand push as Forj, and we're waiting for the right time to do that. And we have a few announcements lined up to coincide with that activity.
Speaking of Times Square, right? So our team was in NFT NYC and attended Sandbox event, and it was excellent. Sandbox has made tons of announcements with Time Magazine. Yeah, like with Warner Music as well as Ledger on building a Ledger verse. So we are getting a good volume of business deal flow, like from Animal Class N. Yeah, we see that like Web2 brands are still like coming to Web3. You can see like the recent Animal Class acquisition in education and also in gaming studios. And we don't see this trend is going to die off anytime soon. So yeah, like one of the ways that we're getting consistent customer referrals like through Animal Class ecosystem. Yeah, like we see that we just like we continue to deliver what we do, and we have a pretty good yeah, like sales deal flow coming in.
Amazing, thank you. While we're talking about exciting things to come, things in the future, when will the Forge roadmap be updated?
So yeah, it will be very soon. We made updates in our website. Because of current market conditions, we need to adjust the launch timeline to manage expectation.
Great, thank you. Moving on to the second part of our AMA to talk about Metaprince. A couple questions here that I'm going to go to Andy for. So this is your time to shine. So question number one, what is happening with the Social Hub Pass sale?
So the short and sweet version is that the Social Hub Pass sales are kicking off next week. They're kicking off on July 5th. It's going to be a phased approach. So it's going to be multiple sales instead of just a single sale. And we're starting with Crust. If you're looking for all the details, you'll find it on the Metaprince Medium publication. We've also dropped summaries in the community channels. To give some context as to why the Social Hub Pass sale was moved over, we've built the Social Hub experience around a few different dependencies. Like the initial concept was it would be gated access for the Social Hub. There were some platform dependencies that changed, so we've had to adjust our approach. What we're doing now is we are gating the rewards and experiences in a slightly different way, and so that has us that pivot made us move things back a little bit. So all said and done, the sales are going ahead, kicking off July 5th. Just check out the publications and community channels for more details. And if you have any questions, of course, drop them in the community. We're here to answer them.
Amazing. Still with you, so please don't go on mute just yet. What is happening with the Genesis rewards?
Yeah, so Genesis rewards, going back to the initial concept of what the Genesis rewards were all about. So the Genesis rewards are there to give Genesis holders some love through the asset sales tied to whatever brand they hold. So that all of that rewards comes from the asset sales. The vision we had was for the initial sale to be the Social Hub. And that would kick everything off. And then following that, we would have the assets coming through. So if you think about the metaverse experience, we have a space for that brand that you hold, and then assets come after that. So all the things that go into that metaverse experience. So the Social Hub Pass sale is the first big sale contributing to the rewards. Then asset sales come after. Now, that being said, we do know that we need to start increasing the frequency of sales. So we do have plans in place to start churning out more asset sales after the Social Hub Pass is wrapped up. And from the community side, we're looking at what it means to be a Genesis holder. So in the same way with the Forge community, we have our BCG holders as a VIP group. We're looking at Genesis holders as a VIP group as well within the Metaprince project. So we're lining up more perks and activities and events exclusively for Genesis holders to pull them closer to the project and also give them more rewards in addition to the initial perks and rewards that come with holding a Genesis NFT. We actually have a community update going out soon, so it should be within the next couple days, that goes into details around some of the new governance activities and dedicated rewards pipeline or dedicated asset pipeline for Genesis holders. And as you'll hear me say over and over again, if you have any questions, bring it into the community because we're there around the clock ready to answer questions.
Brilliant. And actually, just before you move on, Christina, I wanted to show everybody, if you haven't already seen it, we've done a video just promoting the Social Hub Pass sales. So I'll stick that on the stream now for you. so it's very, very intense. And obviously, I'm sure took Andy back to his days clubbing in Munich.
I'm feeling it.
So yeah, no, really, really exciting. And as you know, Andy mentioned, you know, we've got whole new perks and utilities on offer for the social hub passes. Just an appreciation of the fact that there's been some slight changes to the ways in which these work now, just due to the development roadmap in the Sandbox. So really, really exciting. So do check those out. Incredible value, actually, the fact that we're now offering those to have access across multiple metaverses as well, which is fantastic. Yeah, so sorry, Christina, moving on.
No, that's fine. That energized me. So, Andy, again, can we do more content related stuff and management to be more active within the Discord and social networks, driving the focus on Metaprince?
Absolutely. So we are kicking off a whole set of activities and events over the next few months within the Metaprince Discord server. For our Genesis and the new social hub pass holders who are coming through, a lot of that is going to be built around governance. So a lot of our governance activities are going to be based within Discord to begin with. But more broadly than that, when we think about the Metaprince community and what does that mean to be part of that community, we really want this to be a go-to resource for all things metaverse. Personally, Metaprince is my favorite thing that we're doing. I'm really bullish on the metaverse in general. So a lot of the, selfishly, a lot of the activities are around the things that I would love to see as someone who loves the metaverse as a concept. So bringing in creators, bringing in builders and makers, learning about different metaverse experiences. So at the end of the day, Metaprince isn't just about a single metaverse. It's about you could almost think of it as like the multiverse of metaverses, all these different platforms and experiences that are to come. We're in such early days, and we want the Metaprince community to be at the forefront of that, like the place you go to. So really excited to be doing more there. And as always, keen for input from our members on what should we be doing? What does that look like?
Yeah, actually, on that note, obviously appreciate that, you know, as an executive team, you know, we are all very, very busy. There's a lot going on. But that said, we obviously always have time for the community. So if there's any one of us that you particularly want to speak to, just let Andy and the team know, and maybe we can arrange a time just to jump in. I think it's half the time is just knowing, you know, when and where you need us, and obviously always happy to.
Yeah, hitting on that in a little bit more detail. So one of the things that we're looking at starting to do within, honestly, the next few weeks, just working out the logistics, is having set time for our Genesis holders and the social hub pass holders to have that one-on-one time with us as a project team. So having set office hours, you can come in, have a conversation, bring your questions, a much more informal version of this that you can do more frequently. So yeah, we'll have details going out on what that's going to look like, but we want to have more of that conversation going. And same kind of a throwback to the Forj project, same idea there as well, having more of that access, more of that conversation, especially for folks in our VIP groups who are supporting us and holding. We want to give you that extra love.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Harry, what have the Metaprince team been doing?
So yeah, like our team has been like developing assets, experiences during this time. So you can see what Charles is showing. And this is a process between brands, for example, Polygon and us, like a back and forth process. Secondly, we have they doing the operations on the sales, right? Prepare the sales in terms of what tokens to use to participate, and because of the market condition, we have to adjust the volume to ensure that it has the most engaged audience to participate too.
Yeah, I'm sorry to drop this in there, Harry, but yeah, just an example, you know, a bit more depth. That was the Polygon experience that's been worked on, and you know, the team are really doing a great job behind the scenes developing all these experiences. And it's worth noting at this point, you know, these things are not they're not quick and easy jobs. These are serious hours and hours and hours of development time, game development time, there's a lot of considerations that go into this. So obviously appreciate everyone's patience, but we've got 10 branded experiences coming, and that's obviously a really, really big piece of work. Sorry, Christina.
Okay, yeah, no problem. This question, the question is simply burn unsold Genesis NFTs. But for context, there was a comment in Discord, which was the team and owners of Genesis NFTs should vote and decide the fate of the remaining NFTs. But this is only if the team itself cannot make the right decision, as thousands of other projects have done. Just burn the ungenerated NFTs. Any thoughts, Harry?
If the question is referring to the upcoming tutorial pass, then we have controlled absolutely the minimum. Right now it's like 300 per brand, but for the Genesis NFTs, I think we have already sold them to the market. Like for the rest is we are holding like for treasury purpose, and like for partners like who are looking to enter the metaverse, and then to provide them with some stake in the game, but we don't have any unsold Genesis NFTs as for now.
Amazing, thank you. Harry, as well, what does the 5-year term refer to, the term period?
So this is a licensing agreement that we sign with the brand. So typically we sign 5 years with them, and once the 5 years expire, and then we have to sign with them again. But for some brands, it might not resign, right? So we set the terms to be like 5 years. But in crypto, 1 month in crypto is I feel less a year. So 5 years is a really, really long time.
Yeah, and actually on that, I think it's a great point to raise, because you think about the value proposition of the Genesis NFTs, and obviously we appreciate everyone's patience in regards to the fact that we're a few months in now, but we're a few months into potentially up to a 5-year relationship with these brands, and the metaverse is not shrinking, right? And so these assets are going to be integral going forwards as these brands look to kind of expand their presence in not just one metaverse, but multiple metaverses, some of which haven't necessarily been released yet. There's new projects coming up all the time. So it's really, really key to remember that. And as Harry said, 5 years is a lifetime in crypto. I think if you think that 5 years ago we hadn't even had the 2017 bull run, so that's just how long ago 5 years was. So a really, really exciting time to be in this space.
Yeah, 5 years ago, Binance was created. Today's Binance birthday, so really, really long time. But moving on, Christina, we want to cover more about pets.
Yeah, absolutely. So third and final section of the AMA about pets is going to be Harry heavy for the first few questions. So Harry, what's the overall status of the project and what's the vision?
Yes. So for Poker Pets, the original vision that we have set is that Poker Pets is a unique NFT concept that encourages participation in the Poker ecosystem through partnerships and the biggest projects around. So for now, the focus has shifted, because we see Polkadot is not just one ecosystem we want to serve. We want to serve Polygon exchanges too. The current business pipeline is that we are building the mascot pets for this large tier 1, tier 2 exchanges. And we see them this mascot as an identity for metaverse. Instead of having a brand kind of being in the banner ads, and right now they have an identity to use as an avatar to play. And the current vision is to create these mascot identities for them to enrich the experience for them being on the metaverse. And in the bear market, we see exchanges and this layer 1 projects are the ones that have both the budgets, most engaging communities, compared to other DeFi projects that we have been working with. So that's the primary focus right now with Poker Pets.
Great, thank you. What's happening with the pets game?
So for pets games, we have like 3 games that is like under development, and they are mostly done already. So these games include 2 speed ones and one with a very immersive storyline, and they all are on Sandbox. And Sandbox right now they are moving from Ethereum to Polygon in the migration phase. And in terms of gated access, it will be more in the Q3, Q4 area, but like we can launch with a gated incentives version after the Metaprince sales, because Metaprince basically pays us a foundation to see like how would the base module work. Then upon the success of that, then we can set up a landing page and then the registration process for the pets and pet NFT holders to get access to these experiences.
Great, thank you. And still, Harry, what utility do you have planned for pets?
So for the pets tokens, other than the staking that we have currently in our official website, we also have participation of pets that's coming. For example, like Polygon, Gaze.io, Qcoin. Those are the exchanges we are working with, and we will have pets sales soon. So the participation of those pets will be in partially in pets tokens. And then like for the metaverse experience that we are developing, then pets tokens would also be used to purchase the passes. And Sandbox will be the first destination to start with.
Great, thank you. Sorry for the noise. I've got things flying off my shelves. Chaz, will there be any new utility for existing PokerPet NFTs?
Yeah, so this one is obviously, every PokerPet partner we have, we maintain a great relationship with. And we're always looking for new ways to engage with them and to create new utilities for existing pets. So short answer is yes. It's clearly partner dependent, and we have a series of activations in play. I mean, very much related to for example, with the games, and also some other additional quite interesting ones. Actually, I was speaking just the other day to a project I can't name, but they're looking to get involved with the PokerPet group as a whole and offer some quite unique utility to all the pets, which is fantastic. So short answer, yes. Obviously we have to be mindful of ensuring that there's the right balance of value for the project as well as the community. But going forward, the pets as a whole will always have new utility. And most of that utility, frankly, is going to be coming in the future, coming from the gamified experiences. The metaverse. We've got some exciting announcements about what pet holders will be receiving in regards to the metaverse. Something that I think Harry's alluded to in the past, but certainly we'll make more mention of soon. And of course, we have some really exciting partners we have yet to announce. One in particular, one of the biggest projects in crypto. We'll be doing a pet with us, and that's going to be super exciting. Also coming very soon. So yeah, some really, really interesting things coming.
Great, thank you. That actually leads us to our last question. Chaz, for tax purposes, are we dead or rolling?
Ooh. I love that. That's a funny question. We're rolling, if that's the right term. Yes, we absolutely are. We, as I mentioned, I appreciate, and Andy will be reinforcing this in the community channels. We are in a bear market. We are in a bit of a downturn. Things are slower and seemingly slower, but actually, in terms of PokerPet behind the scenes, we have a lot coming. So hold on to your hats. Lots of great stuff coming up. Yeah, frankly, can't wait to show you what we have in the pipeline. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We are very much rolling. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, as we say. and please do sort of ask us any questions. And by all means, as Andy mentioned, if you'd like to see us more in the channels, having kind of some open discussions with you all in person, happy to do that. Just let us know. Let us know who you want to speak to, and we'll make that happen.
Great, amazing. Before we conclude, is there anything else that anyone has to add, or that they want to share? I feel, Andy, that you might have something.
Yeah, because I didn't have a chance to comment on it for the patch project, but when you look at all of the projects we have going and the general approach we're taking to community, it's the same sort of approach across the board. We see folks who are holding anything from our collections as VIPs. We want to do more with our VIPs, and that includes events, activities, more direct access to our teams, more input, more governance, things like that. So whether you are in with BCG right now, or you're a Genesis holder, or you're holding a first edition PokePet, whatever the case may be, you are a VIP within the community. We want to do more. So just reach out, let us know. We're setting things up right now going through the summer. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? Just give us a shout and we'll make it happen.
That's great. Thank you. I think that's everything for this month. But as always, thank you so much for your questions, your support, your participation. It's always just lovely to hear your questions and get some feedback so that we know what we can share with you and what we can focus on internally. So lots of things coming soon. Look out for the roadmap, which should be coming to our website in July. And we will see you all next month.